Welcome guys to another show. Igama lami uSphiwe and isibongo kaDaker. The name of the show is Expensive Pain, powered by Born Beautiful. Today we have another exciting episode. For a change, we have a woman on the show. It's about time because it seems like we've been having guys. Isabona mama njani? Ngiyaphila nami. It's nice to have you on the show. Normally on the show, Tina, we allow people to just give a small intro. You don't have to say a lot. Just tell us who you are, where you're from, and then we'll unfold with the questions.
Okay. Ngunobuhle. Ngikhulele ePimville.
Yes.
Ngikhulele eZondi.
Yeah.
Kwamkhulu wami. And then later on moved in with my parents that stayed at Pimville.
Yeah.
And then now I stay in my home in Florida with my children and husband.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let's get to it. Can you tell our viewers what are you into? Are you an artist or business person?
I'm a business person.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of business are you into?
So I have a couple of businesses that I run, all interlinking.
Yes.
Started my journey as doing mini events, zabantwana, my birthdays.
Yeah.
And then from about 2005.
Yes.
And then over time moved into events, wabantu abadala, nishado.
Okay.
And then later on I ventured into property and now run several BNBs.
Wow, that's beautiful. Does your business have an umbrella name for everything, or every business has its own name maybe?
So we the main name that we use, or the signature.
Why signature? Yeah.
So in 2010,
yeah,
when I was planning to relocate back to Johannesburg,
okay,
I needed a brand that I can start to be known by.
Okay, is it something, sorry to cut, is it something that you learning from somebody close to you, or this whole business thing, it just came to you as an individual? Just
So
to clear that up.
2002, I had my son.
Okay.
Okay, and 2004, I needed to have a birthday party, like his first birthday party. Yeah. When he turned 2.
Yep.
So it was a mission.
I can imagine.
Get equipment, to get things.
Yeah.
For birthday yomntwana. That makes sense. So yes, there were always events, people need to lose abantu abadala and all of that, but it's a 2-year-old birthday, and I've always believed ukuthi when you do birthday yomntwana, it must be birthday yomntwana, not birthday abantu abadala hidden nge-birthday yomntwana.
Yeah.
So literally drove to Pretoria North.
So from Soweto to
Pretoria North to get decorating things zabantwana.
Yeah.
The theme was Winnie the Pooh and Friends, and got banners designed then, all of that, and then needed an ice cream cake. Couldn't find anywhere.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I had to travel all the way to Pretoria East to get a Winnie the Pooh ice cream cake.
Yeah.
Jumping Castle, had to get it around Fontaine.
Yeah. So all these things that are not available.
They were not easily available or readily available. And as such, that then sparked an idea in me to say, we need to have these things available. We have amaphathi wabantwana all the time, but there is no supply. So I, in 2005, then started my first kiddies business, the party abantwana.
It started from that struggle you faced.
that
Wow.
I had.
So imagine if the world had so many women thinking like that. I understand that isn't an achiever, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So I started, and at the time my business was called Kids Party Masters.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Who was your target? Was it mainly kids?
Kids. Like for me, there was already so many businesses that were catering for abantu badala.
Yeah.
So but there was nobody there to cater for abantwana and have abantwana really enjoy birthday yabo as abantwana. Yeah. Instead of just giving them party pack and they must just run along and have fun. Yeah. So Kids Party Masters did very well. Like we would do, I think in a weekend I would have like 6 parties per day. So Saturday you have 6 parties, Sunday I have 6 parties that I am hosting.
Yeah.
Now, and then that's when it sparked. So we took like extra businesses that were doing it. And then in 2007, I had an opportunity to leave Johannesburg and go to Cape Town.
Was it all from your pocket, or you got resources from?
I left on my own.
Okay.
There was a career change opportunity that
presented itself.
Found, and I then left.
Wow, that's brave of
everything and left Johannesburg and got based at Cape Town. So when that happened, I then decided to sell the equipment
that you started with.
I had, because I did not envision me restarting the business in Cape Town or even being able to run the business this side. So I sold it to a friend of mine who's now late.
He or she? Okay, may she rest in
peace. So I then stayed at Cape Town, but unfortunately, home is home.
Yeah, that's where the heart is, right?
Yes. So I had to come back home. But what Cape Town had sparked inside of me was the love of property and the value one can derive in property.
Wow.
And as such, I knew that I wanted to be in property, but I didn't want basic buying of property, renting it out and all of that. I knew I didn't want that. But yes, that I started having the love of property because I was given an opportunity to manage properties in Cape Town.
Okay, with that property, I would like to know, since you have the actual experience with the industry of property, as a woman, do you see a lot of women playing a role in that department, or I would say the division of property, or it's mainly based with like male figures? Because my industry, they tend to be more one-sided than accommodating women. What would you say for a woman maybe who's watching, who would want to embark maybe go property? Are there a lot of chances, or they are scarce? Maybe what would you
say? Property is still very much an industry driven by white people. Still, it's white dominated, right? So in that space, in the whiteness, there is a lot of male dominating, right? But when it comes to black people that are in property investments and that kind of space, there is, I don't know, very strange, but it is mostly women that are
for reals.
Yes.
Wow.
It's simply because there is such a white shadow that is there, that is male, that the females that are there owning property, it's not easy to identify them or to be around them, right? And so that's the unfortunate part. But my experience is that in most cases, when it comes to property ownership and property investment, you find more women than you would find with men.
Wow, that's amazing, because you know how the media and the society would portray all these industries that are male dominant, but once you dive in, as you said, you see that actually there's a better chance. But I'm happy to see a woman driven in a business manner, because we see even young women lately, not to say I'm dissing, but most women that are focused on like being employed than being self-employed, and creates employment to empower even more women. Understand? But that's beautiful. So we, with this journey, because you said you moved to Cape Town, is there importance in traveling if you're a business person?
It is. It's very, very important. It's extremely important because, for one, to understand the value of the space that you're in, you need to kind of find yourself in an uncomfortable
space,
new environment and try to make things happen. Then you see the value in what exists around you, right? It is extremely, extremely important to move space to space, to understand why how life impacts. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with being a business woman or person, how you started, do you think it's mandatory when it comes to academics, which somebody needs to have like a certification for everything, or you just need to follow the drive and the passion and just do it?
So education helps, right? But it's not the key.
Okay. Why would you say it's not a key?
It's not the key simply because what matters is what drives you. Okay, so you can have, I mean, there's this new story, Manje, that is up in the new conversation that has started with this student that went on TikTok and banned a business degree. And because she's frustrated because she's not getting employed, right?
She's banning a business degree because she's not getting employed. Isn't the business, you should be starting something,
so not, well, you see, this is the thing about the various fields of study. Okay, for one, you have your own interpretation and your own understanding of what this degree is supposed to help you with, right? If you are not a designed entrepreneur, if you are not planning to be an entrepreneur, you are getting this degree because you say it will help you when your field of work. You understand? Because now you can sit in the boardroom and understand what the business owner is thinking and as such help, right? So she's now bent this degree, and then in turn, the university has revoked her degree. Because they say she's put her in the institution into disrepute, right? So that is why I'm saying at the end it's not the key, because winner that wants to be an entrepreneur, you will go and you choose this field of study to help you in your ventures, right, as entrepreneur. Where else somebody else, this is the degree that I'm capable or that I think I'll be able to achieve and whatever, and therefore I expect to get XYZ at the end. Do you see? So you find people that are born academics, right? All that they can really do, as much as a teacher economics or a graduate economics, but they're more in academics. So they'll always be in the higher spaces of learning. They'd rather write papers and whatever than to go out and make a change in economics and out there. So it is what drives you that is more important at any point in time. You understand that if Mr. Apple Jobs, what was this? Steve
Steve
Jobs,
Jobs, yeah.
Did not have a degree,
Yeah.
right? But he's built an empire.
Yeah, that's what I've seen with most successful business people or rich people. They don't really like push school the way other people would say academics, it's the key. Understand? So, being an entrepreneur, what would you say the trait or strength you should have to be an entrepreneur? Since you told me a story of this lady penning her certificates, her business. So, what strengths would you say one should have if they want to embark in entrepreneurship? Especially as a woman. Let's speak in a woman perspective. There's no right or wrong, but I would like to hear your side.
Yeah. So it varies, right? Women, everybody needs stability, right?
Yeah.
So in whatever space or venture you get into, is because you are pushing to get the stability. Okay, so yafuna that you must have the tenacity
Yeah.
to stay and to just make things happen.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So the ability to accept the inevitable, accept things, you understand that, and not delay the facts, and not so if you are in this and this is what you've wished or envisioned to do, it's not working. I before getting into the B&B space, have always wanted to host people.
Yeah.
So I created a restaurant space
Yeah.
that I can invite people into my space and host and have meaningful conversation and dine, meet, and different
network,
people and network. It didn't work out, right?
Oh.
With all the energy and all that I wanted, I put in, it was not working out.
Wow.
Right?
What kept you going then during this time?
The reality that the dream is valid. The dream is valid. I might not have packaged it in a way that the next person understands it, right? So accept the reality that your packaging is not what people are looking for, and as such, you're not getting the buy-in, right? But the dream is valid. Find a different mechanism or find a different way to package this and see what then happens, right? And then we've converted the space and made it a B&B and guest house, right? So I still have people that come into my property, whether it's a one-night stay, whether it's a week stay, whether it's a month stay, and then they come in and they do what? They order my food.
Oh, so you also provide them with food.
So I still provide dinner, which is what I enjoy the most. I love cooking.
Is it you cooking yourself, or you have your chefs, or you are the chef?
I've always been, had the love for cooking. Always. I've always had the love for cooking. So I cook. I've now taught my employees how to cook in the standards that I want our food to be served. So yes, now it's no longer just me. So it's me and my employees that also cook. But now what then happens is that you get groups that say, hey, we want to come over and spend the weekend lab, or can you cook for us and host us?
That's at the same time.
Do you see? So now we've got a different cupboard space that is there that we decorate, and people will arrive and they'll still be served
at the same time. And
then stay over. So hence I'm saying you cannot be stuck in this single business idea. You understand that? If it's not working now, find a different way to make it work. Right? So that's one of the, I call it a strength, that be put deadlines. I'm opening this up for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
This is my target. If it's not working, if it's not, your targets are not being met,
yeah.
shut down and re-strategize and look at.
Have you ever felt like giving up at like everything? Like
it's not an option.
Because a lot of people, they tend to try something, and then if it doesn't work, like they just close the whole chapter. So you saying it's not an option. I hope people are listening that, like, if you really love your dream and you believe in it, regardless the obstacles. Now I'm a business person, I know the ups and downs, but giving up, like, now I would say it's not an option if it's your dream. Like, wow. So with the space that you are in, say BNB events, is there also a lot of women there, or it's still the same?
Once again, I'm in, or rather the spaces that I commute in, there is a lot of women in events business, right? The difference really with events per se is that it needs a lot of strength. So you will see a lot of male figures.
In being intimidated.
Yes, right. But the brain behind it would generally be a strong black woman, a female that is there. But unfortunately, it needs strength. So you need to push the soldiers, and
And then, so with the ups and downs of business, we can't always satisfy everybody. Like with those things, like I'm a client whereby you hosted them and they were not happy. How did you handle that?
It's not easy. Criticism is not you want to hear it, but it's not the best. It's not nice, right? Especially when you believe you've given your best. We had guests that checked in last minute. We needed to configure their room to satisfy their needs. And even after all of that, and we went extra mile for different things and different reasons, and their requests were met, and they still went and gave us a review too.
I can imagine.
So it is painful.
Yeah.
It is painful, but at the end of the day, that cannot be what then makes or break you.
Yeah, it can be your downfall. Yeah.
And also, you work with a team of individuals that expect you to always be motivated in order to motivate them. Okay. So it's always important to take this criticism, or like these bad reviews, and sit and be grown up about them. Right? Okay, this, for a fact, I deserve this one because, right? This person gave it to, it's on them, it's not on you.
You know what you did.
Yes, I'm not gonna sit and blame the team and say they did not perform, whatever the case is. So
would you say those are the lessons that you learned along the way, or you started the business knowing very well of such critique?
No, you learn every day. You learn every day. Your understanding of what the world is expecting from you is not necessarily what the world is expecting from you. That is your perspective and your view. So every day you become humbled by one thing or another in the space.
I understand.
So it does happen. Balls fall all the time, and you need to forgive yourself for dropping those balls. There are times where you have not raised enough money to even pay salaries, but they must be paid. It is what it is.
Running a business, it's like that. So with your businesses, where would people find you? Maybe the location and even maybe online pages if you have
Yeah,
for our viewers who are watching that.
So we are on Facebook, the
Yeah.
signature venue, the signature parties, Instagram, the
Yeah.
signature venue, the signature parties, yeah,
It's
online.
still, yeah.
You just search the
Do you have a
signature.
website or
Yes,
it's just
the signature
.com,
the signature.co.za, yeah.
Okay, I hope people are listening. And like I like the fact that like having a face of a woman under so many businesses, it's rare nowadays because it's mostly dominated by guys. But I hope people who are watching at home and seeing which as a woman, this thing is not really gender based. If you put your mind to it and your heart to it, you can achieve it regardless the odds that you might be facing. So as Imbogoto, I would say I am proud. Hopefully, in as a showing, we'll have more females to get more side lab or good to like with this journey of being a businesswoman. Like, what are the ups and downs? What can you give to the next person as advice? Understand? So, in your way, it's like just give a bit of advice to women out there who are maybe wanting to start something or they're struggling to start something. What would you advise them as a closure to say these are the ways of motive? Can you try to implement in your own ways?
So, starting anything is not easy, right?
Yeah.
But there's not even enough planning. Start because you are ready to start, right?
Yeah.
You will learn things along the way. You are going to fail things, but be driven to eventually get it right, because you will get it right.
Yeah.
But you don't agna business that starts perfectly.
Yeah.
But and there's no business that will operate perfectly.
Yeah, I think another misconception people have. Yeah,
Yes,
carry on.
There's not enough capital out there to help you start your business. So the little that you have, start with that and then grow from there.
Yeah.
Be dedicated.
Yeah.
To do it and get it right.
Those are beautiful words, I would say, especially coming from a female perspective. Ukuthi nabantu ababhekelele, they will get those words. It's not easy, even though you see businesses amanye ngathi manje that more check history yabo nabo Pick n Pay, all these big brands nabo, they started as a mini shop. I understand that they had the ups and downs, but with having to keep that vision going, it keeps the dream also alive. So I would like to thank you to have you on the show. Would see like I'm still processing the things that you told me, like also traveling. I took that with like now I wanna expand my businesses with the importance under that. Like it's beautiful. So I would like to thank you for coming through to our show, which is the Expensive Pen powered by Born Beautiful. We have also our social media page, which is Born Beautiful Productions. Follow us there on Instagram, and we will give you even more of what's gonna come next, because it's not only the podcast that we do, Nati. We still wanna venture more into other things. Understand that. So thank you. Hopefully, I feel like the time we had, it's not really enough. Understand that due to certain circumstances, but hopefully part 2 will be there. And I don't know if it's okay with you to because I feel like there's more, like on what you said. It's just that we touched the surface. I understand that there's more to dive into, but thank you for sharing what you did share to the world, and we are looking forward to have you again to our show, Expensive Pain. And people, don't forget to subscribe and like, understand, and have a lovely day. Asibonge. Shout out.